What's going on, everyone? So Los Angeles Lakers are officially the 8th seed. Now, still have to handle business, right? We still have to be one game better than the Sacramento Kings. So right now, yes, we are half a game ahead, but if we finish the same record the rest of the way, Sacramento has the tiebreaker, they leapfrog us. So Lakers still have a lot of work ahead of them. They still have 4 games left. You have to handle all 4 of those games. Now, if you do lose a game, it's not panic mode. If they lose to, say, Minnesota, it's not panic mode yet, but they can't afford to lose another game the rest of the way. I think bare minimum, you have 1 loss that you can afford. Perfect world, Lakers sweep the board. I want them to. We need them to. Let's do it. Get the win against Minnesota. You're great. You got the first one. It's like free throws, right? First one is always the one that you're like, if they make the first one, then more times than not, they're going to make the second. They miss the first one, it's like, right? Because now the pressure's on. Now it's elevated. Right? So for me, the Cavs game, you got that win. Now you can kind of breathe, right? Now the crowd noise kind of drowns out. Now everything's like, okay, this isn't a dire, like I have to make this. If I miss it, season's over type thing, right? Again, using the free throw analogy, it's like games on the line, right? You need 2 free throws to win, 1 to tie. You make the first one, okay, now the pressure for the second one is off. You're good. Right? Now, worst case scenario, you tie. Best case scenario, you win. We're good. Now you can step into that second free throw with confidence. Knock it down. Right? It's kind of how I'm looking at this. The Cavs, if you miss that first free throw, now the pressure's on because now if you miss it, you lose. Right? So Lakers got the first free throw. Now you got to get the second. Now you got to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you know that they're going to bring their A game. But the Lakers need breaks elsewhere. Phoenix Suns, New Orleans Pelicans, right? They play each other. You need Sacramento to still lose some games. They play the Brooklyn Nets. A lot of questions that I've been getting asked lately. So I want to address the big one, which is the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans. That's a question that I keep getting asked even in the live stream. And so I love to answer questions. So here's the thing. I believe that the Lakers need the Phoenix Suns to beat the Pelicans. Now, here's why. So one big concern, let's get the big concern out of the way. 3-way ties. If the Lakers finish in a 3-way tie, it goes to divisions, right? And if it goes to divisions, the Lakers lost all 4 games to the Sacramento Kings, which means whatever that is, whether they have tiebreakers or not, they drop to the bottom of that list, which means now the Lakers could end up being in the 9th, depending on where they're at in the tiebreaker, right? Depending on how it falls. There's a lot of things that could happen with tiebreakers, right? Lakers, if they get close, like let's say the last game of the season, if they win, they fall in a 3-way tie, or if they lose, they finish 8th, they might just lose that game on purpose, right? So we'll see how this progresses. Something to keep in mind. I'm not saying it will impact them. I'm not saying it will happen, but it is something that could happen and still be on pace. But here's the thing. If the Pelicans lose, right? Well, now, 1, you'd be tied for 7th with a Pelicans game at the end of the season coming up. 2, the likelihood of a 3-way tie now becomes almost non-existent because 1, you have to win 1 more game over Sacramento to overtake them anyway. So assume you get the job done there and you win 1 game. If you beat the Pelicans at the end of the season, now you have a full game over them. So worst case scenario, you tie with the Phoenix Suns, and now the Phoenix Suns, because you have the tiebreaker, they drop and you leapfrog them. Now, where if the other side happens and Phoenix loses, now you start getting to that 3, maybe even 4-way tie territory, which gets very convoluted, and the Lakers are always at the bottom of all that stuff. So that's where the real dilemma lies. So to me, Lakers and Laker fans need to be rooting for the Sacramento Kings to lose to the Brooklyn Nets. Tall order, probably not going to happen. But also the Phoenix Suns to handle business for right now against the New Orleans Pelicans. Also, we might not even catch Phoenix. Even if Phoenix loses, the way that they're playing right now, and the way teams are kind of packing it in against Phoenix, it's very possible that even if they lose to the Pelicans, they might not lose another game the rest of the way. And then they just lost to the Pelicans for no reason, right? All it does is hurt us and impact us, right? Like, but if the Pelicans lose, well, now the Lakers are right there. They just need to handle their business. If Lakers handle their business, then bare minimum, they'll finish the 7th seed. Because even if at that point, let's say the Pelicans lose, right? Lakers, let's say they win the rest of the way and the Pelicans win the rest of the way. Well, when they get to that final game, one of them has to lose. If the Lakers win, then guess what? They have the tiebreaker and they finish one game better than the Pelicans. If it's the other way, then the Lakers drop. So to me, however you slice it, right? When you're looking at tiebreakers, when you're looking at just the standings, when you're looking at just where they could fall in the seedings, like what are the potential outcomes? What's the worst case scenarios? What's the best case scenarios? All of those signs point to the Phoenix Suns beating the New Orleans Pelicans. And then you hope that, the Clippers beat them twice and they lose 3 or 4 of these games the rest of the way. And then if they do, then you can leapfrog them and all of a sudden you're in the 6th seed. Now, again, when it comes to the 6th seed, keep saying, is it in play? Yes. Can the Lakers still realistically get it? Yes. But it is something that a ton of dominoes have to fall into place for it to happen. So it's one of those things, in my opinion, don't count on it. If it happens, beautiful, right? If the Lakers end up landing in the 6th seed, we're going to celebrate. Believe me, because it'll have been a long hill battle and climb. We're going to have to live it up on a live stream or something, right? Because the fact that we had this uphill battle this whole time and end up stumbling face first into the 6th seed would just be ridiculous, right? But to me, if you don't count on it and it happens, now you're that much more excited. Now you're that much more. It's like, it's like a surprise gift. Right? When you get that a gift from somebody that you weren't expecting, it always feels so much better. You're like, oh man, like thank you. Like you didn't have to do that. But like when you're expecting the gift, now you have to kind of pretend like, oh, or you're disappointed because you're expecting a gift and the gift comes and now you're like where's my gift? Right? Like, so to me, that's how I look at it. I look at it as like, no, if the Lakers get it and they manage to stumble their way into the 10th seed or the 6th seed, beautiful. Right? Home run, let's get it. But if they don't, then now there's not the disappointment. 7th or 8th seed, you only have to win one game and you're in good shape, right? You're beautiful. That's where I think, and that's where I kind of fall into that thinking for the 6th seed. But regardless, right? I don't want to get too far ahead. It's just a question that I keep getting answered or keep getting asked that I want an answer because, a lot of people are kind of like, whoa, if Phoenix loses, then these possibilities. It's more so to me about the tiebreakers and about the fact that if you get the Pelicans to lose, then you can catch them and you can beat them, right? Even if the Suns lose, there's still no guarantee that you'll catch them, right? Because you have to finish bare minimum with the same record, right? Phoenix, if they win outright outside of that, then you still wouldn't be able to catch, right? So to me, Get the thing that gives you the best guarantee, right? The best guarantee is that the Pelicans lose because now you're tied. Now you just have to outpace the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans. If Phoenix loses, then you don't have to just outpace them. You still need the Phoenix Suns to drop several games and to fall down this like huge rabbit hole, right? That's where my problem is. And that's why I believe that the Phoenix Suns we need to be rooting for Phoenix to beat the New Orleans Pelicans. Then from there, everybody needs to beat Phoenix. Everybody. I don't care who Phoenix plays, beat Phoenix. And let's get Phoenix to now start dropping. And now the Lakers could potentially get the 6th seed. That's the best case scenario. That's where I kind of feel this falls through. But I hope that also clarifies things for you. Again, you got the win against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now you got to follow up that win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do not drop the ball. Do not fold. That being said, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with my points? Do you disagree with my points? Do you think no, you're spot on? You have the Phoenix Suns. They end up beating the New Orleans Pelicans. Now you're on pace with them. Now you just have to win a game or two to overtake them. But that game lines up at the end of the season as the last game. Now you're in good shape. Do you feel the other way? Are you not worried about the three-way ties? Because again, that's a real factor. And that's something that we need to keep in mind, that we need to make sure we're avoiding. And it is something that could potentially play in the last game, and the Lakers could end up losing a game just deliberately so that doesn't happen. Because you could sweep the board and go undefeated, finish in a three-way tie, and the Lakers are now at the bottom and end up in the ninth seed again. And you're like, how did that happen? So just something to keep in mind. But that being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.